What if I told you that 5 billion people will watch the biggest sporting event on Earth at a stadium NFL players are terrified to play on? Not at the $5 billion Palace in Los Angeles. Not at the 90,000-seat Empire in Dallas. The 2026 FIFA World Cup final will take place at MetLife Stadium, a concrete box in New Jersey where 16 players have suffered devastating injuries and where the Jets go to lose. But FIFA just gave them the greatest prize in sports. How did this happen? Behind this decision is the most brutal stadium war in history. Billionaires fighting for control, permanent demolitions worth millions, and a surrender so complete that MetLife started destroying their own stadium before FIFA even chose them. Los Angeles fought back and got eliminated. Dallas threw a victory party, then watched New Jersey steal it on live television. MetLife won by surrendering everything to FIFA. Now comes the real challenge. Can a stadium built for American football, shared by two NFL teams that genuinely hate each other, transform into the perfect stage for soccer's greatest moment? The truth is darker than anyone imagined. Why did MetLife Stadium in New Jersey win the right to host the 2026 World Cup final? It's not the biggest stadium. It's not the most expensive. The answer involves FIFA corruption, backroom deals, and a billionaire's $5 billion mistake. To understand this story, we need to go back to 2015. American federal agents arrested 7 top FIFA officials in a massive corruption scandal. The charges were devastating: decades of bribery and money laundering. America had just exposed football's governing body as deeply corrupt, and FIFA now needed to repair its relationship with America. 3 years later, in June 2018, FIFA announced the 2026 World Cup hosts: the United States, Mexico, and Canada. But the selection raised questions. Morocco was the only rival and had strong support from African and Asian nations. Then Saudi Arabia intervened, publicly endorsing North America while privately pressuring smaller countries dependent on Saudi money. One by one, Morocco's supporters switched sides. To many journalists, it looked less like fair competition and more like a geopolitical deal. North America secured the tournament. Now came the bigger question: which stadium would host the final? 3 stadiums emerged as contenders, each with a billionaire owner and a different strategy to win the greatest prize in sports. Stan Kroenke owned SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, and he was absolutely certain the final was his. SoFi was a $5 billion masterpiece that opened in 2020. It sat in America's entertainment capital and looked unstoppable. But SoFi had problems. The field was too narrow for FIFA standards because it was built for American football. Fixing it meant removing thousands of seats and losing millions in ticket revenue. Still, this technical issue was fixable with money. What actually destroyed SoFi's chances was Kroenke himself. From 2022 to 2023, Kroenke fought with FIFA over money. FIFA demanded large shares of ticket sales and hospitality revenue. Kroenke refused. The fight escalated until SoFi threatened to withdraw completely. FIFA was stunned. No owner had ever challenged them like this. Kroenke thought his investment gave him power. He was wrong, and FIFA started looking elsewhere. While Los Angeles self-destructed, Dallas became the favorite. AT&T Stadium had 90,000 seats, the largest capacity of any candidate. Owner Jerry Jones had powerful connections and promised full cooperation. By January 2024, insiders were convinced Dallas had won. Texas officials started celebrating early. Everyone assumed the decision was already made, but FIFA was evaluating different priorities. MetLife Stadium in New Jersey was making its move. Built in 2010, MetLife was never considered glamorous. It's a functional NFL venue 10 miles from Manhattan, lacking Los Angeles' prestige and Dallas's massive size. But MetLife understood what FIFA truly wanted. In January 2024, before any announcement, MetLife took a massive risk. The Giants and Jets agreed to permanently remove thousands of seats. They committed millions to field reconstruction. They reduced capacity from 82,000 to 80,000, and they started immediately without any guarantee they would win. If FIFA chose another stadium, MetLife would have destroyed valuable seating capacity for nothing. But MetLife was betting on something bigger than renovations. FIFA wanted 80% of premium revenue from the final. That meant tens of millions in lost income for stadium owners. SoFi refused to agree. Dallas tried to negotiate better terms. MetLife said yes instantly, with no negotiation and no resistance. While competitors fought FIFA for control, MetLife surrendered it completely. On February 4, 2024, FIFA announced MetLife Stadium would host the final. Dallas was completely blindsided. They had organized a watch party expecting to celebrate. Instead, they watched New Jersey win on live television. SoFi was eliminated entirely, and the underdog had beaten the richest and largest stadiums in America. But winning comes with enormous pressure. Removing seats means losing millions in revenue every year, not just for the World Cup, but forever. Completing renovations while hosting NFL games creates impossible scheduling challenges. On July 19, 2026, billions will be watching worldwide. Any mistake will be magnified across the entire planet. MetLife won because they gave FIFA complete control, but now comes the real challenge: completely transforming the stadium itself. The design, the field, the features, everything must change to meet World Cup standards. To understand why MetLife could make those impossible commitments to FIFA, you need to know how this stadium was born. In 2007, the New York Giants and the New York Jets, two division rivals who genuinely hated each other, made one of the strangest deals in sports history. They agreed to split a $1.6 billion construction bill and build a single stadium together. The design was led by Probuilds, and when construction began, they were simultaneously tearing down the old Giants stadium right next door. When MetLife opened in 2010, it became something unprecedented, a stadium that could completely transform its identity in 18 hours. The building was designed around one revolutionary principle: nothing could be permanent. The end zones flip from Giants blue to Jets green. Inside the 218 luxury suites, entire wall panels get physically removed and replaced with different colors and branding. Throughout the stadium, thousands of digital screens across 3 seating levels and over 10,000 club seats simultaneously update identities. But the most spectacular transformation happens on the exterior. The entire building is wrapped in aluminum louvers connected to a dynamic LED lighting system. On Giants nights, the stadium glows blue across the New York skyline. For the Jets, it turns green. The 82,500 seat bowl was designed with steep angles and no overhanging decks, ensuring every fan has an unobstructed sightline regardless of which team is playing. For 15 years, MetLife practiced this weekly transformation. Every week, the stadium served a different master, adapting without complaint. This was training that no other venue in America had. Now, FIFA was demanding transformations that made the Giants-Jets swap look simple. The first major challenge was the playing surface. MetLife uses field turf, a high-performance artificial turf essential for surviving New Jersey's brutal winters and the punishment of hosting over 20 NFL games each season. But FIFA's requirement is absolute, natural grass only, and not just any grass, pristine, television-perfect turf that must look flawless for 4 billion viewers on July 19, 2026. The engineering solution is remarkable. MetLife is installing a temporary natural grass system using specially designed modular trays that sit atop the existing surface, supported by advanced drainage technology and climate control systems that monitor and adjust moisture, nutrients, and temperature in real time. The second challenge involved pure geometry. American football fields measure 160 feet wide. FIFA regulation soccer pitches require 230 feet. That's 70 additional feet that simply didn't exist in MetLife's rectangular lower bowl configuration. The stadium's steep stands were optimized to bring NFL fans close to the action, but that same design now required radical reconstruction. The solution meant permanent sacrifice. MetLife removed thousands of seats and demolished front row sections to make room for the wider FIFA pitch. They also expanded the player tunnel and reduced total capacity from 82,500 to 80,000 to meet World Cup requirements. These aren't temporary changes. This is permanent infrastructure loss that will cost millions in ticket revenue. Beyond the field and seating, FIFA demanded comprehensive facility upgrades, expanded locker rooms for larger international teams, broadcast systems capable of simultaneous transmission to every country on Earth, security perimeters and checkpoints far exceeding NFL standards. Every requirement represented millions more in permanent modifications. The transportation infrastructure required its own massive overhaul. New Jersey committed $35 million specifically for upgrades, expanding rail capacity, improving highway access, creating parking systems that can handle the global convergence of fans. MetLife spent 15 years transforming for two rival teams. Now comes the real test: completing renovations while hosting NFL games, installing natural grass, managing unprecedented crowds, all under the eyes of 4 billion viewers. They must become what they were never built to be, the perfect stage for soccer's greatest moment. But what happens after July 19th, 2026, when the final whistle blows and the world moves on? That's when MetLife's real challenges begin. MetLife Stadium won the biggest prize in sports, but winning might be the worst thing that ever happened to this building. Every World Cup leaves behind graveyards of abandoned dreams. Brazil spent hundreds of millions building the Arena de Amazonia in the middle of the rainforest. Today, it hosts weddings and birthday parties while drawing crowds under 1,000 for actual football matches. Qatar promised their Stadium 974 would be dismantled after the tournament and rebuilt somewhere else. 3 years later, it sits abandoned and rusting with no destination in sight. South Africa, Russia, and countless others learned the same lesson: sacrifice everything for 1 month of glory, then watch your stadium become a monument nobody wants. But MetLife has something those venues never had. The Giants and Jets play 16 NFL games here every season with 80,000 fans each. However, that guaranteed demand doesn't erase what MetLife sacrificed. The stadium removed 1,740 premium seats to widen the field for FIFA standards. At roughly $150 per ticket and 16 games per season, MetLife now loses approximately $4.2 million every single year. That's over $100 million across the stadium's remaining lifespan. Here's where things get truly scandalous. MetLife is hosting the most expensive World Cup final in history. Hospitality packages cost over $70,000 per person, more than most people earn in a year. Regular seats start at several hundred and quickly climb into the thousands. FIFA introduced dynamic pricing for the first time ever. During the Club World Cup trial run, prices were slashed by over 90% just hours before kickoff, leaving fans who paid full price absolutely furious. But there's an even bigger controversy. Since 2020, at least 16 players have suffered serious injuries on MetLife's artificial turf, including devastating ACL tears and season-ending Achilles ruptures to stars like Aaron Rodgers and Nick Bosa. One NFL executive told ESPN that his players are petrified of playing at MetLife because of the dangerous surface. Here's the scandal that's infuriating players. MetLife is installing grass for the World Cup, but it's only temporary. After the tournament, the stadium returns to the same artificial turf that's caused years of injuries. The Giants and Jets have no plans to keep the grass permanently. The World Cup gets the safe surface players have been begging for. NFL players get sent back to what many call an injury factory. Despite all these controversies and sacrifices, there's another side to this story. MetLife Stadium will forever be known as the venue that hosted the World Cup final, the biggest sporting event on Earth. This prestige can be monetized through international matches, concerts, and corporate events. If MetLife leverages its status correctly, it could become the de facto home for soccer in North America. So what do you think? Will MetLife's gamble pay off, or will it become another abandoned World Cup graveyard? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that expose the hidden truths of the sports world.